COVID-19 has a lot of us working from home, and COVID-19 has a lot of us struggling with our mental health. And today we are going to combine all of these topics and wrap them up with a bow. Working from home generally brings us two things: isolation and burnout. You either get them together or you get them separately, and neither of these are good for our mental health. And essentially, both of these dudes are given the okay to invade our lives. So today we're going to figure out how we can help stave them off. First of all, we're being told by public health officials to social distance and self-isolate. While those are not the same thing, they bring up the jokes for some of us, as far as the jokes of depression and social anxiety and how we've been preparing for this our whole life. So it sort of feels exciting to be required to do these things, but at the same time, we all know that neither of these are good for us. So I am blessed to be in an organization that is using Zoom quite often, like daily. And so she's really scary sometimes. We've been using Zoom calls almost daily, and that's really good because it keeps the workday as similar as possible to what it would look like in the office on a normal day, and that's really the goal. So every morning when I hop on, I connect with the people that I would normally connect with if I were in the actual office, because again, I'm trying to keep this as similar to working in the office as possible. People that I would normally talk to in the morning, I just go on and I go on the Gmail chat, G-chat, I don't know. And I just tell them good morning and ask them how they are. One way that keeps human interaction very similar to being in the office. So this next point actually connects isolation and burnout. People with obsessive compulsive personality disorder, or just people who are just super involved in their work and feel like they can never be off and have to be on all the time. One thing that I encourage you to do is just take some friendly calls, not work calls, but friendly calls with people. I mean, you don't always have to be working the entire time you're on the clock, because part of working is establishing a relationship, part of working is keeping your mental health good so that you're able to work. And so some of this time can be spent with friendly calls or taking breaks or whatever you need to do. And this isn't related to workplace isolation, but it is related to isolation in general, and personal isolation it may feel kind of scary to cold call your friends. I don't know. I don't really call my friends that much, except for one. And so a cool person to call or talk to in your life might be your siblings, or for me, it's my little cousins. And so what a fun thing to do. It's gonna make your day, it's gonna make their day, it's just gonna be fun to talk to them. So the next segment is burnout. So what really leads to burnout for a lot of us is lack of boundaries. And that is because, especially when you're at home, there is no physical boundary between work and life or personal. So it's literally just a switch in your mind that you're supposed to flip. And so I talked about this in my healthy habits in the workplace video, but set your boundary. And so for me, what this looks like is I'm going to be available via phone and email from 8 to 4 every day. But if there is an emergency after hours, you would call me on my phone. That's the only way, is you would call me on my phone. And then you actually have to abide by your own boundaries. So you actually do have to be checking during that time, but more importantly, you have to be not checking when you're not supposed to be checking. So at night. Another tip I have for burnout is establishing a project or two during this time. And so that's going to give you something to look forward to, something to fill your weekends with, fill your evenings with. But what's so important about establishing a project or two is you don't want to overload and make a 20 item to-do list. So having a long ass to-do list, it's like being overly ambitious. You're not going to get all those done, and you're going to feel you're not going to want to start because it looks like so many. Essentially, if you're a person who does have 10 or 20 things in their to-do list, what you should do is you should spread that out against 1 or 2 months, and then have 2 or 3 things per week, and it feels a lot more manageable. For me, projects include things like, perhaps I really want to organize my stuff and find out what stuff I can get rid of and donate. And so that's one of my projects. And another one of my projects is just reading. And then another one of my projects is this YouTube channel. So yeah, so if you break things down as 2 or 3 to-do items per week that are personal, it's actually plans that you're planning to take that week instead of just in a list form. They're just thoughts. It's not really serving you well, I don't think. The final thing I want to talk about today is the good things. And so one tip I have from working with home is really tuning in to what good things there are. So this is a way of practicing the abundance mindset instead of the scarcity mindset. You have to define these good things for yourself and actually get creative with them. What are some actually good things? So some things I came up with was you have control over the noises and smells around your space, you can take the time to cook. You don't have to like bring a lunch with you or like only have a microwavable lunch. You can actually cook. You don't have to wear shoes. You can be with your dog all day. You can technically not do work the whole day. Or like, especially if you worked hard in the morning, you can just kind of chillax. Ethical, I don't know, but necessary, probably. Anyway, I'm just gonna part with some resources for you guys that I found. So I found an awesome hub for mental health resources. Any resources that you may need. It includes just more things than I talk about. And so it's by NAMI, and it will be in the description. It's like a PDF of a bunch of different like links to stuff, and it's really like categorized well. And included is the crisis text line, which you might already know. It's 741741. So yeah, you just text that anytime, people will get back to you. And then there are also so many other hotlines and warm lines and text lines that are in the PDF, so you can check that out as well. And there are also more local ones too. Interestingly though, I'm in Wisconsin and they don't have a warm line in Wisconsin. So thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it so much. I hope it helped. I really didn't know what I wanted this video to be. And so I was just kind of like brainstorming ideas this morning, and this is what I came up with: isolation and burnout, especially in the workplace. So let me know your other video ideas and what you're struggling with in this time, so I can help like formulate those into another video, because that would be so good for my mental health too. Anyway, please subscribe because I participate in #MentalHealthMonday, which happens of course every Monday, and so I upload a new video every week on Monday. But if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, you actually get the video on Sunday, so a day early. And then of course you can follow me over on my Instagram, which is @youseemnormal, and I post them over there almost daily. And I actually have a highlight that's called COVID. So if you're looking for some resources that have helped me, you can check out that highlight. Don't be normal. Is that good? Is that a good ending? Don't be normal. She hates the camera, so she'll just look away if that's okay. All right, good.